Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the absolute wonder that is Bangladesh. We're going to explore a little bit of everything, from its geographical marvels and wild, untamed ecosystems to its incredibly rich architectural history and the mouth-watering depths of its culinary heritage. It's literally a country of stark contrasts and breathtaking beauty. And man, there is so much to unpack here. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the heart of South Asia, untamed natural wonders, a fragile paradise, echoes of the past, and finally, the tastes of old Dhaka. Let's get right into it. Part 1. The heart of South Asia. Let's set the geographical stage. 163 million. That is a massive number, right? It's the population of Bangladesh, which makes it the 8th most populous country on the planet. But here's the real kicker. All of those people live within just 148,560 square kilometers. To put that into perspective, that makes it one of the most densely populated places on Earth. It creates this incredibly dynamic, bustling energy where daily life and culture are just woven together in super close proximity. And its location is incredibly strategic. It sits right at the crossroads of South Asia. You've got India wrapping around the west, north, and east, Myanmar tucked away down in the southeast, and then to the south, the whole country just opens up to the gorgeous Bay of Bengal. It is literally a geographical pocket just bursting with life. Which brings us to part 2, untamed natural wonders. The ecological diversity here is just wild. You've got these two majestic extremes that could not be more different from one another. Down in the southeast, there's Cox's Bazar, which, by the way, holds the record for the longest unbroken sandy sea beach in the world, stretching a whopping 120 kilometers. But then head over to the southwest and you're in the Sundarbans. This isn't just your average forest, it's the largest mangrove forest on Earth. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and yes, it's the mystical home of the Royal Bengal tiger and the spotted deer. The ecological range we're talking about here is absolutely phenomenal. Speaking of beaches, we have to talk about Kuakata. The name itself is actually a history lesson. It comes from the Bengali word kua, which means well. Back in the late 18th century, early Rakhine settlers arrived on this coast after being expelled from Myanmar. They dug these wells for drinking water, and the name just stuck. But here's the absolute best part about Kuakata. You know how you usually have to pick between a beach with a good sunrise or a good sunset? Not here. This 18-kilometer sandy stretch gives you completely unobstructed views of both the sunrise and the sunset right over the Bay of Bengal. How cool is that? Part 3. A fragile paradise. Let's look at the ecological reality. It begs a pretty tough question. Can a coral paradise actually survive its own popularity? We're talking about St. Martin's Island. People love to romanticize it as a coral island, but technically it's a coral-bearing ecosystem. Its unique biodiversity makes it an absolute national jewel, but right now, it is facing unprecedented, immense pressure. The numbers paint a pretty stark picture. Back in 1980, this island had a totally manageable 3,000 residents, a single, albeit dilapidated cyclone shelter, and just a handful of winter visitors. Fast forward to today, and that population has swelled to 12,000. Despite construction bans, illegal hotels are just mushrooming up everywhere to handle hundreds of thousands of seasonal tourists. This unregulated development has led to bulldozed freshwater ponds, destroyed mangroves, and people literally looting century-old coral rocks that are supposed to protect the shoreline. The gravity of the situation is captured perfectly in a quote from Reza Khan in the Daily Star. He notes that St. Martin's Island is today a fragile, degraded ecosystem pushed to the edge by decades of governmental neglect, unregulated development, and unchecked tourism. It's a really stark reminder from our sources that natural beauty absolutely requires rigorous, active protection if it's going to survive human enthusiasm. Moving on to part 4, Echoes of the Past. Time to dive into the architectural heritage. The historical timeline of the region really shows just how deep Bangladesh's roots go. We're starting way back in the 7th century with the Shalban Vihara, this massive Buddhist monastery that featured 115 cells for monks. Then into the 8th century at Mahasthangarka, one of the earliest urban archaeological sites from the Maurya Empire. Fast forward a bit to the 15th century and we hit the breathtaking Sultanate architecture of the 60-dome mosque. And finally, jumping to 1872, we see the completion of Ahsan Manzil, the stunning residential palace of the Nawab of Dhaka, sitting right on the banks of the Burgana River. Okay, let's zoom in on that 15th century 60-dome mosque for a second, because I've got a myth to bust. Despite the famous name, it does not actually have 60 domes. No way. It features exactly 77 low domes arranged in rows, plus 4 larger ones on the corners. So why the name? Well, historians think 60 dome might actually be a mix-up, and it originally referred to the 60 stone pillars holding up the massive roof on the inside.
When you look at the design, it's pretty brilliant. It was built by the Saint General Khan Jahan Ali between 1442 and 1459. Since stone was really scarce in the area, they ingeniously used baked terracotta bricks. And the best detail? They built the walls 6 feet thick. That engineering trick kept the dim interior incredibly cool, even during the absolute worst of the scorching summer heat. It totally makes sense why this masterpiece of medieval Bengal is a revered UNESCO World Heritage Site today.
And finally, part 5, the tastes of Old Dhaka. Let's talk culinary heritage.
If you really want to understand the food scene in Old Dhaka, you have to start by asking, what did the Nawabs of Dhaka actually eat? You see, the history of places like Ahsan Manzil isn't just about the bricks and mortar. It's about these legendary, lavish feasts they used to host. That regal history has completely trickled down into the streets over the years, creating this incredible sensory experience that defines the area today.
Let's walk through this menu because it is seriously mouth-watering. You've got heavy Mughal influences everywhere, staples like rich Mughal biryani and slow-cooked nahari, but there's a ton of diversity too. If you look around, spots like Jagannath Bhojanalaya serve up fantastic vegetarian options like pushbano, a sweet rice dish. For drinks, you can grab traditional matha or lassi, and to cap it off, squeeze into a tiny spot like Uttam Ghosh Tea House for a steaming cup of rangcha, a really robust liquored tea, and just soak in the neighborhood conversation.
But listen, if there's one street food you absolutely cannot miss, it's the savory bakar khani, specifically from places like Hazi Shahib or Bakar Khani. Just to give you a sense of how crazy popular this flaky bread is, this one tiny unsignposted shop goes through a staggering 250 kilograms of flour every single day, just to keep up with local demand. That is an unbelievable volume of pastry being baked and enjoyed every single day.
So after taking this rapid whirlwind tour through the dense geography, the wild mangroves, the ancient ruins, and the bustling food stalls, it leaves us with a really vital question. How do we balance the exploration of all this rich cultural and culinary heritage with the urgent, desperate need to protect fragile natural wonders like St. Martin's Island? Bangladesh has so much to offer for the focused learner, but as our sources have made clear, that beauty demands our respect and responsible engagement if we want it to survive for generations to come.